Where's everybody? Oh, well, grab your pen and paper and get ready for the obligatory PSU pregame show. Come on, guys. Get over here. Come on. We got to continue. Come on.
No thanks, Mike.
Come on, we need you. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Appreciate it. Everybody? Kevin? Landon?
I heard you did okay.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But I missed you guys.
We missed you, Mike. And we missed you, the viewing audience. We're here at Happy Valley Live. This is the obligatory PSU pregame show. I'll take it from here if you don't mind.
Okay, good.
I'm your fake host, Chris Buchignani. You've already met and heard from the legendary campus icon himself, Mike The Mailman.
Thank you.
You're done. You're done talking. Buy his book. Buy his stupid
I'll take it
book.
from here. So Iowa runs a 4-3 defense, and what they like to stunt the linebackers a lot.
Tengwall, thanks for coming back once again.
Yeah, thank you.
Kevin Horne, we're here. We're here, men, for whatever is next.
The future is scary in a lot of ways, but exciting in some ways.
Yeah, sure.
They got to get this right.
Both.
They got to get this right.
Let's start off by talking about this, because I want to kind of discuss the folks I think ultimately we're all most concerned about are the players on the team who are going through it right now and continue to need the support of Penn Staters worldwide. Terry Smith is going to be leading whatever is left of the 2025 Penn State football season. Just really going back to what we talked about on the last show with the James Franklin firing. A little tough to wrap your brain around going from number 2 and all the expectations to where we are. Talk a little bit about your impressions of Coach Smith and how he's prepared to take on the challenge in front of him.
Yeah, he was obviously always Coach Franklin's right-hand man. It feels weird for me. You guys have all been around, and you guys experienced Joe and OB. All I know is James Franklin as the head coach of Penn State football. So it's even a little bit weirder for me. But you know, Terry is, you know, no nonsense. He's about his business. He's just a solid dude. So it's a very good opportunity for him. I'm excited for him. I know I don't necessarily think he wanted to be in this role right now.
He did. Yeah, no,
definitely
sure
did not want that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But no, I love Coach. He was a player's coach, and I know some people are saying, "Oh no, not not in the sense of it's too friendly." He does a very good job, and something to keep an eye on that I thought was interesting. AJ Harris, as soon as he gave up that touchdown to number 17, the white wide receiver Wildy, AJ Harris was not seen again. So I mean, Terry Smith, he's going to do what needs to be done. I'll just say that.
That's good.
I remember when Mike Yursich got fired, and Ty Howell and Jawn Sider, who's no longer a part of the program.
Hell of a move by Jawn Sider, by the way.
Famously made the supposedly lateral move to Notre Dame, and their backfield is certainly having more success than ours. It did kind of feel like those guys had just been waiting for the opportunity to do a bunch of stuff they felt needed to be done and wasn't under the current regime. You think maybe there's some possibility for that from a personnel perspective, which is really what this segment is all about as we get ready to go out to Iowa City?
Well, it's telling about how much of a failure the coordinators are that neither of them are named interim, right? And they give it to Terry, especially because Terry's basically a Franklin acolyte who knows where all the bodies are buried. He's the longest tenured coach. I'm happy for him.
But also a legacy guy, a Paterno guy, longest tenured coach on staff.
No, I'm nothing bad to say about the man. I'm very happy for him. Obviously, he's not going to get the full-time gig. He's just got to give us some pride in the last 6 games, right? Unspoken, the best player on offense is now out. Well, second best player on offense is now out. Let's give him that at least, despite being bad. And the second best player on defense is also out. And I don't know how do you go into Kinnick at night with your backup quarterback in your first game as a coach and come up with a game plan and get this done? I have no earthly idea, but I think Terry will at least go out with some dignity here, I hope.
The answer is you let it rip. Truly, I mean, if this team had nothing to lose 2 weeks ago and 1 week ago, it sure as hell has nothing to lose now. I do think, just looking ahead a little bit, Terry Smith is certainly a name who will be in contention to stick around and continue working for whoever the next guy is. I thought about when Bill O'Brien got here and made the very wise decision to retain Larry Johnson Sr. and Ron Vanderlinden, top performers from the Paterno staff. I think he certainly, Kev, Terry is not auditioning for the head job. He might be auditioning to stick around in Happy Valley.
Well, what I think is interesting is you got a lot of former Lettermen on the staff. And so whoever comes in next, I think they have to look long and hard. And that's a credit to James Franklin for bringing guys back, not just his guys, but Paterno era guys. You got to look long and hard at the staff and say, all right, you got to interview these guys and say, hey, are there some people I want to keep around? I think it would be absolutely stupid. I know the linebackers have not played well, but to get Dan Conner out of here, that would be a big loss. To let Ty Howe go, that would be a big loss. Those are two people that I think eventually could be the OC and DC of Penn State football. And then
how about Brenton Strange, Theo Johnson, Tyler Warren? I mean, that dude is recruiting and developing NFL tight ends.
Impressive. There's certain people that you have to retain, whoever this coach that comes in next. So it's going to be interesting to follow.
Does the coach know that the coach is coming in? Does he know that he has to retain certain guys, or it's up to him purely?
It's up to him. If he wants to clean house is clean.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
But to go back to when Bill came in, and I won't get too far afield, but since we brought it up, and we talked in the last show, Kev, which I hope folks watched here on the For the Bloggy YouTube channel, that this is the first conventional head coach search of the modern era for Penn State. So the Bill O'Brien situation was a little bit different for many reasons, a lot different. Yeah. But Bill came in and took an honest accounting of what do I have available to me, and is it smart for me to throw the baby out with the bathwater in some of these situations? And I do think whoever the next head coach is, there are folks on this staff, and Terry's one of them, now in this interim role, along with some of the assistants who you'd probably be better served to just keep around just because they're great at their jobs. Mike, before we move on and talk about this roster that's going out to face the Hawkeyes in a hostile environment on a streaming service nobody has, one thing we haven't talked about, and I do just want to stop and give a little time to, is just the heartbreaking fashion in which the story of Drew Aller comes to an end here in Happy Valley. It just breaks me up a little bit.
You hate to see anyone get injured, but this guy's been under the gun all year, 3 years, and it's like,
and the way it happened on like the last play, a vain effort, the whole thing is, it is like,
it doesn't feel real.
It's Shakespearean in a way that doesn't feel real. That it was exactly what I was about to say.
Yep.
It's what a tough few years to evaluate in his case.
Yeah.
Because he was bad. I mean, I don't want to, like I said in the first show, that we'll get 10 times more views in this show because it's about James Franklin in the future. He was bad. I mean, he was a bust. And I don't want to kick a dead dog when he's down, and how much of that is on him and how much of that is on the system that he was put in. Right?
What was his best game?
West Virginia. The
first game ever.
Right.
I mean, only did it go downhill. James Franklin, unfortunately, has ruined a couple quarterbacks. Trace McSorley was able to overcome it. But, I mean, good God.
But
you got to feel for Drew Aller. I've been praying for him because he was put in a horrible circumstance. I'm sorry, Kevin, continue.
He also stinks. So, like, I get it. Right? I get it. He came back to try to win a national championship, and because he got $5 million from Abercrombie and Venmo and God knows who else. But he came back to try to win a national championship, and he wasn't capable of ever doing that. I don't care what piece he had around him. He was just bad. And yes, to end it that way is cruel. It's a cruel sport, and you only get so many games in college. You only get so many games in life, but especially only so many games in college. 4 years worth if you're lucky.
Yeah,
and it's over. It's over like that. And at the end of an empty Northwestern game that you're about to lose, whether you're hurt or not, as your coach goes down with you, how it's hard to put into words just how devastating that must be for all involved.
It kills me. It kills me that that's his experience and his family's experience at Penn State. And I hope that Drew Aller, in time, as you said on the last podcast, Kev, comes to appreciate the lifelong benefits of being a Nittany Lion and a Penn State letterman.
And it's going to be the only thing he has because he ain't going to the league. I hope it's like a Christian Hackenberg situation. He left here with a sour taste in his mouth.
No doubt
James
about it.
Franklin, regretting the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it took him a little while, but in the last few years, he's come back in the fold, doing the pregame show.
As you get older, you get perspective. And I think he realized what he meant to the place and what it means to a person to be a person who has that impact on something that outlasts you. And Christian Hackenberg's commitment to Penn State and his loyalty to it and to Bill O'Brien made a big difference for the university and the program and the community. Mm-hmm. And I think Drew in his own time will come to see that. But now the page is being turned. Yep. It's Ethan Grunkemeyer's team. and it's an opportunity for that young man. It might be a pretty steep learning curve with the next 2 games being night game at Iowa and then a road trip to Columbus. But here it is.
I think that his first play of his starting season is pretty indicative of what it's going to look like for him. 4th and 3, just getting absolutely clobbered and not put in a good situation. The routes that were run, the wide receivers, no one was open. There was no man-beating routes. We knew we were going to get man. Ethan Grunkemeyer not being helped out. That's what he can come to expect from this Andy Kotelnicki offense right now. Yeah, so you have a negative Landon Tengwall. Deal with it. That's where I'm at right now. I wanted to say this earlier. This is probably better for the past show. Imagine the champagne popping that Corey Geiger has going on right now.
I think he was intoxicated last night. His Twitter was off the rails. I'm blocked, so I can't really interact with it, but I see it. He was on one, and in a way that I find to be distasteful. Right? Anyone who's celebrating this, I think it's the wrong. I'm not going to fan police. You can celebrate, do what you want. I just think it's. I'm torn up about it. It's such a paradox. I'm sad about it.
Yeah,
it had to happen. I'm sad about it, and anyone who celebrates it, I don't understand, given where we were 12 years ago and where we are now, and the new look at him crying, shining that Big Ten crystal ball. How can you not feel something?
Even if you hated the guy's guts, living well is the best revenge. Don't piss on the ashes.
Yeah.
Could I bring it back to the roster? Am I a jerk for doing that? Talking about the season?
Who cares?
Yeah. So anyway. I'm going to toss some names out at you. And Tengwall, you're the guy for this. Let me just make sure I got them right. So Cooper Cousins and Kobe Howard on offense. Key players on that side of the ball. On defense, Yvonne Kamaju, Zion Tracy, Tony Rojas, Jameer Joseph, Randy Adarica, Cam Smith, Alex Tatch, Cortez Harris. Do you know what all those guys have in common? And Darius Dixon does not. They haven't burned their red shirt yet this year. And James Franklin just got fired. We got a 30-day window open. And here's the sad thing. Here's the sad thing. Going into the UCLA game, you remember on the podcast, I said, not a damn player on that visible from space tire fire program entered the transfer portal after Deshaun Foster got fired. Yep. Heading into the Penn State game. And I kind of half jokingly said on the podcast, well, right now, after the Oregon game, if our guys had a 30-day window to enter into the transfer portal, I'm sure the number who jumped in would be way higher than 0. Well, now we get a chance in the worst possible way to find out if I was right.
Yeah, if I'm Kobe Howard, I would leave. You kidding me? I mean, no opportunities.
Wouldn't you wait to see who the next guy is, though?
No, I was probably. I'm being a little bit facetious or just jumping.
Well, that's the tough decision.
But that's the angle.
It's a gamble you take.
Yeah, no, I'm saying there's guys that I feel like they should have had shots, especially the wide receivers. After you got 3 weeks in a row, where outside of the slant, the quick drag to Devontae Ross that he took for 60 yards, there was nothing in the passing game, and you feel like, hey, I got an opportunity to provide some spark. And you're not letting me get any type of burn. So if I'm, I at the same time, I also wouldn't have come here if I was a wide receiver or a quarterback. It's.
Here's the thing, though, man. The you in that statement is gone. You're not letting me get any burn. That you is out of here. Mm-hmm. And going back to Ty Howell and Jawan Sider immediately busting open the playbook when Mike Yursich was donezo. Yeah. That's the pitch you got to make to keep the talent in the fold. Yeah. To say whatever frustrations you were feeling, whatever uncertainty you were experiencing, on some level. I know they always say pick the program, not the coach, and nobody does it. Did you do that? Did you pick the coach, the program, or what's the percentage? What's the breakdown?
I would say it was mainly coach, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's most guys. Most guys say that.
Yeah.
And so what you got to say now that you're here and you see all the good there is to it. This is what you get, folks. This is we're being real. But you say now that you see all the good there is to being at Penn State, you talk all the time about the need to get the degree and the value of that.
Absolutely.
Playing in Beaver Stadium. Hang in with us. We're going to give you some more opportunities in the short term because there's nothing holding them back. And we'll see. We'll see who the next guy is. Well, Penn State is going to make a good hire. That's what you're telling these guys.
Absolutely. But what starts to be hard that's going on is now you're in this window where you can leave and you got offers. And if I'm a younger guy and it's double and it looks really grim here and I don't know Terry Smith and I don't necessarily love my position coach or the position I put in. Yes, James Franklin's gone. But I don't like the offensive coordinator, who's probably going to be gone as well. Definitely needs to be.
You're selling me hope and faith. Everyone calling me is selling me a tangible thing. You're going to come to this school, play for this coach, and you're going to have this role. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How much does Terry Smith? How does he preach to the guys? Stay with us. We're going to be fine, or does he do that, or does he not do that?
You got to do that. I mean, and obviously, he could speak. He's a letterman here. He's a captain, so he can provide some insight for sure. But I mean, this is a tough situation. I'll tell you, those guys walking into that team meeting, it was clear. I'm sure it was. Team meeting starts at 1:20 p.m. on Sundays. It was told to them. They knew first. I highly doubt James was in that meeting, and they were told right away. And it was a lot of oh crap. And now it's, what am I going to do? It's not, what are we going to do? Because this is the natural instinct of a human being when you're now in survival mode. What do I do? And so now it's going to get really scary of what does that locker room look like? It's hard to manage that. You also don't have your starting quarterback. I don't know if it could be worse at this moment. And it still feels surreal that the whole Drew situation happened because all of this that's going on, it's like, I feel like so many of us still haven't even digested. We talked about it already, but just the enormity of what that Drew Aller situation is, it's crazy.
It's less enormous again because he stinks. So Grunt can't be worse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry how it ended. I'm sad. I'm broken up about it. But it's not a story. One, because it's overshadowed by the coach, obviously, and two, because who cares? Ultimately, who the quarterback is the rest of the year. Ultimately, the way he plays.
Kobe Howard, maybe. I don't know.
But it's
if you're on scholarship, if you're wearing that uniform, it's because you're a great football player, whether you've been playing or not.
I don't know if I go that far. You are a football player. You're better than me and Mike.
Which you got going for you, which is nice.
There's no Michael Moudies or Michael's Orders on this team, though.
To that point,
I wanted to say. There's
we don't view this as a punishment. We view it as an opportunity, which a wise man once said. And so, folks, if you're in that locker room, that's the attitude. This is your opportunity. We're going to jump to a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Friday night was great. So I saw probably the coolest thing that I've ever seen in a Big Ten town on Friday night. So we're walking. They had this great pedestrian walkway in downtown Iowa City. It takes about 5 blocks. It's just all bars inward into this big courtyard. There's police on horses, but they're just sort of looking out unless you're being a jerk. They're not going to get stopped. And we see this person wearing these crazy glasses, and they have a trombone or something. We're like, that's a little strange. So we go into the first bar we see. About 5 minutes later, the door is just open outward like this, and 100 or so people with musical instruments come running into this bar and jump up on the tables and jump up on the bar, and everyone just knows to remove their drinks. It was like nothing was happening. And they just start playing the Iowa fight songs, like all of them, for about 15, 20 minutes. Everyone's singing. It was incredibly loud. And I'm asking the kid, so the kid behind me has this trombone or this whatever the instrument is. I don't know what instruments are. But everyone is playing these songs. It's so loud, he's pumping it like this, like over and over again. I turn around, I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? Everyone else is playing. What is this? He goes, well, we do this. I play the cymbals, and I can't fit the cymbals through the door, so I bring this and pump it, and they give us free beer. So I inquired more. they're unaffiliated with the Iowa marching band, though they all
unaffiliated.
They all
right?
happen to. Yeah, it was said with a wink, but they're all in the band. And every Friday night, they go around Iowa City to about 15 bars and do the same thing at every bar. And the bar just pours them pitchers of beer. And you have the drum major of the Iowa marching band on top of the bar, like going like this in the top hat and a yellow jacket. I think we have some video of it if we can show it.
The Friday night downtown in any great college football town before a big game, there's just nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
You're right.
That's Americana. And I was looking at your tweets and your Facebook videos that you were posting, and I was really, for a moment, jealous. And then I thought about having to drive out to Iowa City. But I was jealous that you were out there experiencing it. But not everybody shared my sentiment, or the sentiment that we're kind of sharing here. You got put on blast on Facebook
a little bit
by no less an authority than the director of our own Penn State Marching Blue Band.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
Greg Drain kind of gave it to you.
Yeah, the director of the Blue Band, Greg Drain, he commented on my video of this happening. He said, "You better enjoy it while you're out there, because," in all caps, "this will never happen at Penn State with the Blue Band." And
The Obligatory PSU Pregame Show is brought to you by Gold Hen Bloody Mary Mix. Get your bottle today by going to goldhenllc.com. Use the promo code Mailman to get 10% off your order. That's me, the Mailman. That's great. Thanks.
We're back here at Happy Valley Live. This is a rough one. Yeah. This is a rough one to get through. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you being Penn State football fans and Penn Staters. And we appreciate Gold Hen Bloody Mary Mix sponsoring this segment. Use the promo code Mailman at goldhenllc.com to get 10% off. Or frankly, our preference, even though we don't get any credit for it, is that you don't inflate Mike, the author's ego. Just pay full price. Forget the Mailman. Forget it.
Save the money and buy the book, right? Spend the extra money for the book. Oh, sorry. There it goes.
The pamphlet.
So much for that.
We love you, Mike.
Thank you very much. We're Penn Staters. All
right.
We'll be back.
So let me say this right out of the gate, because there are recruits decommitting as we speak. Yeah. These are class of 2027 guys who I do not worry about too much, because the one thing with recruiting, beyond the fact that it has never meant less than it does at the moment because of NIL and the transfer portal in particular, we got a full year for whoever comes in next to do exactly what James did when he got here, which is to say, hey, Saquon Barkley, I know you're committed to Rutgers, but wouldn't you rather play for Penn State? What are you, Khalil Taylor, Keeman Spell, all these guys? I know everyone is going to go after them hard. For one reason or another, they were attracted to the idea of playing for Penn State. When we got a new regime in place, it's going to be a whole new ballgame. So don't freak out too much about this.
The key is a new coach. The key is the new coach.
Yeah, 100%.
Recruit. Absolutely.
Well, I think the good news is, and I talked about this on last episode, that whoever we bring in, as long as everybody's smart about it, it's going to be someone that everybody's going to support. I think it was evident that there was not a full backing of James Franklin, specifically from the older crew. They would call them the Paterno era crew here.
Reject the statement outright entirely.
Agreed. I think that is not even a vocal minority, but that's another show for another time. Keep going.
No, I'm just saying you're going to get.
Horne just wanted to get that on the legal record so he can go back to the brief later.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good. That's good.
I object, Your Honor.
What do you object?
We don't need to get into the weeds about who supports him, who doesn't. But I think
keep going.
Blaming Paterno people for not supporting him is, I think, a complete fallacy, and it's a two-way street.
I'm not blaming them at all. I'm just stating the facts that there wasn't full support. It was absolutely.
But the point is, by virtue of not being James Franklin, the next guy is going to enjoy a honeymoon of full support.
Exactly. So no matter what, it's going to be. You're not James. So what do you know? What do you need from my checkbook?
If you didn't tap all the big money guys out to pay his ass to go away. Right?
Why are you trying to bring the mood down?
I'm in a bad place right now, Chris.
I can see that. I can see that.
I'm in a bad place. Yeah.
We should feel bad.
This table has never been a more direct spectrum from one end to the other than it is at this moment. So, moving on from the recruits who are just high school football players right now and represent nothing but potential. Tengwall, the guys on the roster right now, we talked about the situation with the transfer portal, a 30-day window. There's going to be some movement, I think, almost no question. As you were looking ahead, who are the most essential talents for Penn State to retain?
Luke Reynolds.
Okay.
Chaz Coleman. Oh my God, Ohio State's going to go after Chaz Coleman so bigly.
Because they whiffed on him.
Yes.
Because he played 1 year of defensive end. He flourished late. To the staff's credit, they did what they often did under James. Not always effectively. You talk about Justin Fields couldn't stay in the fold. But they were great at identifying somebody who was about to pop and getting in on him early. And they did that with Chaz Coleman and kept him in the fold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to be careful of those guys. You know, you look around elsewhere. I think the hardest thing is, and you had guys that came back for one more go around where they could have went elsewhere and made almost double. I know this for a fact. You know, different running backs, different safeties that could have went to an SEC school and made a ton of money. But they said, these are my brothers. I want to play for this team. This is Penn State. I'm going to come back for one more go around. Those guys now this year that are sophomores and they still, no matter what, have one more year, becomes a lot easier to say, I'm good. I think I'll get out of here. I think I'm going to go make, double what I want, what I'm making right now. And I'm going to go make a lot of money elsewhere and make sure my family is taken care of. That becomes a lot easier when James Franklin is gone. As I've said, everything I've said, no matter what, James Franklin has cultivated a family environment. And that being gone hurts the locker room immensely.
What if a player is like number 3 and he knows the number 1 and 2 are going? Is he just going to stay because he'll be number 1?
Oh, good question.
I mean, I would think he would. I mean, if he knows.
That's a great question, Mike. I mean, I guess it kind of all depends on the situation.
Because there's a ton of upperclassmen talent out of eligibility. Yeah. Now, those guys may start opting out. Yeah. They may have opted out by the time you're watching this, and we don't even know. But the depth chart is going to open up wide. Does that help keep people in the fold here?
I think
it might be a fallacy, though, because it depends what coach they bring in. For instance, when Indiana got Chris Buchignani, he brought half of his JMU team in and played him anyway.
Yeah, good point.
To success. Let's say we get Chris Buchignani again. He's going to bring half Indiana, at least the ones worth taking, to Penn State, and then all of a sudden you're still third on the depth chart. And you don't have the previous relationship with the coach, and you might feel like you're getting pushed out. So it's a complicated situation. In many ways, it's good timing because next year we were going to stink anyway. It was going to be a rebuilding year anyway.
But the schedule is as easy as it's going to get.
I know, but we were going to have to portal a quarterback. We're losing the offensive line. We're losing everybody next year, really. And so, in a way, the timing is good because it's not like you've built this empire and this is the year and next year is going to be the year too. It was this year or bust. It was going to be rebuilding anyway. So,
we'll find out if we're going to have to portal a quarterback starting this weekend.
Yeah, I guess.
In some ways, it's advantageous. I mean, you never want to get there this way.
Because we couldn't get a big enough lead to play him before, so now we get to find out, right?
Well, what an awful situation Ethan Grunkemeyer put into where he didn't get many reps at all in those first 3 easy games because James Franklin couldn't get up on a shitty team. And now you have to go into Kinnick at 7 p.m. at night. One of the 2021 when we were there, one of the loudest environment I've ever heard in my entire life when Taquan Roberson had 3 false starts in a row. And and not only that, not only the environment that Gronk has to go into, he has to go into it with a offense that is just flat out lackluster. No one playing with any type of fire. Your wide receivers, frankly, suck. And, it's not a good situation for him. I feel for him. Because what type of situation is that for you to come into as a young guy? Imagine being Ethan Grunkemeyer right now whenever you're watching this video. What is he thinking? Damn, this is a shit situation.
Yeah, go ahead.
But on the other hand, these guys said, well, we're not under James Franklin anymore. Maybe James did a thing they couldn't do. Maybe we're going to just be free and just go.
And there's not a lot. There's less pressure. There's less pressure.
Less pressure.
As a fan going to Iowa City this weekend, This is the first time I've ever been to Iowa City where there's no pressure at all to win the game.
How terrified is Iowa with their crappy offense? Oh my God, we might lose to Ethan Grunkemeyer and like half the Penn State coaching staff.
Frankly, their offense isn't as crappy as they usually are. They're putting up 30-some points a game.
We'll
get to random number generator, but
Wisconsin last the other night, 37-0.
Yeah. I feel no pressure going to Iowa City. Usually, that's a very pivotal game. I've probably been this will be my 6th time there. I think it no longer. Who cares? I mean, it'd be a great win. It'd be kind of funny.
Everybody has seen the footage that's circulating around, or the photos or whatever, of James with the microphone on his headset, up and down, meddling in the offense. Yeah. Maybe the whole thing gets unshackled in that sort of Ty Howell, Jawn Sider sort of way, post Mike Yursich, where they're free to try some things.
Yeah.
But we're going to get a 6-game audition for the next year, for the next coaching staff of the potential next quarterback in the Nittany Lions.
Not that it matters, because you're going to get a new head coach and he's going to bring in who he wants. But imagine Franklin goes and like Kotelnicki and Knowles are just like, you fire on all cylinders, all cylinders, and it's just like, wait a minute.
I think
we'll see you next week.
You have something. Yeah.
Time will tell. All right, we got something fun coming up next. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Random Number Generator is brought to you by the good folks at Antifragile Brewing Company. Antifragile is the official beer supplier fueling the obligatory pregame show. Antifragile brews incredible beer we all enjoy and recommend. And check out their Moody Culture Kombucha and fill up on Uncle John's Jawn's cheesesteaks. Check them out when you're in Happy Valley at 324 East Calder Way or anytime at antifragilebrew.com. Historic moment here at Happy Valley Live as we enjoy some beer from Antifragile Brewing Company, our official beer provider all season long. Check them out at antifragilebrew.com. The first random number generator segment of the post-James Franklin era.
That's right. It's our
guys.
First, yep.
And just how I would have drawn it up and hoped for it in my wildest dreams, we got to go to Kinnick Stadium at night to start this nightmare. So let's break it down. Nittany Lions versus Iowa Hawkeyes. Something that will chill the blood of any longtime Penn State football fan, Mike The Mailman.
Yep. You know, one thing I like about Kevin going to Iowa, he always tells us about how the band goes into a bar. One by one, these guys go to the bar.
That is super cool.
That was pretty cool. This game, I think, it doesn't matter to me that it's Iowa. It doesn't matter if it's night. That's irrelevant. To me, it's irrelevant.
They're going to lose anyway, right?
I think Penn State's going to win by 11 points this week.
Okay, so Mike just randomly generated his numbers as close as we get. Oh, thanks, Mike. Good job. Good job. You're even better at this than you were at hosting. So congratulations. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Buy Mike's book. What do you guys are looking at me like you want to kill me? Listen, I didn't do any of this. None of this is my fault. I don't think.
Oh, wait a minute, Kevin.
It's your fault, actually, from what I've been told.
Actually, it is my fault. Clearly, no more film breakdowns for me.
That's right.
Sorry, James. I'll go Iowa 27, Penn State 13. I think that this defense right now is in a really, really bad way. You miss Tony Rojas, and Jim Knowles has robbed the program.
I didn't even want the score predictions. Mike The Mailman has just totally derailed this segment, but this is good. That's good. But yeah, that's totally fair. Can I actually throw some data at y'all and for the audiences, Shake?
Sure.
Since the good folks at For the Bloggy prepared it for us. So Phil Parker, one of the best defensive coordinators in college football at Iowa for a long, long time. Iowa is in some ways, it's sort of like I don't want to say the poor man's, the middle class man's version of what Penn State was in its last decade or so under Joe in the Big Ten. Play always solid defense.
Yep. Always.
Offense a little shaky, but they have a discernible floor.
Yeah. And
there's something to be said for that, especially if you as a fan base are realistic about where you're at. Mm-hmm. This year, Kev, as you mentioned, their offense is improving, at least comparatively. they've done some things differently on defense in terms of bringing more blitzers. So typically, going back to those scrap defenses of the 2000s, Phil Parker's normally been content to rush 4, drop into zone, have everybody with their eyes in the backfield, and just have really well-disciplined Cooper DeJean type defenders.
What do you mean by that?
Lock you down. I mean that guy's a Super Bowl champion with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. All right, makes sense.
And I got some stats here. Typically, they have been in the about 20 to 22% blitz rate. That's what Sean Clifford saw in his last game against the Hawkeyes.
Taquan Roberson?
Yes.
Okay.
Pre-Taquan Roberson. Okay. Just Sean Clifford.
Got it.
Until they injured him in that game. This year, versus Rutger in game 4, they're at 32%, 66 versus Indiana. And we saw what they did out in Eugene. Pretty impressive the way Iowa hung with them. Yeah. So more than half the snaps, Phil Parker's bringing blitzers. And again, versus Wisconsin this past week, they're up at 39%. So with a new quarterback starting and an offensive line that remains in disarray, you think we're going to see very much a different defensive approach than we typically have versus Iowa over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I'd blitz us. I'd play man coverage. I'd lock down the wide receivers that can't get open anyways. Yep. And I would scream in Ethan Grunkemeyer's face. And oh no, I think I'm changing my score prediction now. Shout out to the folks at For the Bloggy for that information. I haven't done my study yet.
Okay.
Mike, what do you think?
They won by 11.
Okay, good.
I still have them winning by 11. You can change your prediction. I'm not going to change mine.
Okay, good.
You going to change the score?
No, I'm going to stay where I'm at.
All right.
Thanks. I think we're done. I think we are done. Kevin, give me a score prediction.
Oh, I thought we were done.
Well,
I still need randomly generated numbers. I hope this is not indicative of the way Terry Smith's going to manage the locker room.
If they didn't quit already, they're going to quit now. I guess if you hand the ball off to Kaytron Allen 40 times, then maybe you can score a touchdown or two. So why don't we go with 43 to 10 Hawkeyes. Take the alt line.
Although you were correct last week. You were right on last week.
Sadly.
Yeah.
No, did we see a win on the schedule? Michigan State, maybe? Michigan State's probably the worst team in the Big Ten.
Could be cold out there. We're going to Michigan State.
The D'Antonio weather machine, even though he's not there anymore, it still is a thing. I don't know. But do you see – I can't see 6 wins on this schedule.
No, we're not going eligible.
I can't see 6.
Nor would any of these players want to.
And all these loser programs that never could get us, like Rutgers, they're finally going to get us. Right? Nebraska's going to get it. It's just –
Rutgers couldn't even get us in 2014 with 65 guys on scholarship, so hold out hope.
This team plays like they have 65 guys on scholarship. So,
and they might by the time they get to the Rutgers game. Who knows? All right.
Then we get a bye week and then Ohio State.
Yes. I got to randomly generate numbers. Before I do, I'm going to continue to use this platform that is afforded me. Mike, who is the only Heisman Trophy winner at Penn State?
John Cappelletti.
John Cappelletti.
That's right.
Right. Long vowel sound. Yeah. Kurt, I am just saying, buddy.
That's right.
I'm going to keep beating that drum. I'm just saying.
That's good. That's good.
I teach a class on Penn State football history.
Yeah, that's right.
I am happy to tell my students about 1964 when 3-4 Penn State went out to face number 2 Ohio State. Yeah. Got the dub, and they put a VW bug in the duck pond in front of the president's house. In order for history to repeat itself, what do they say? First it's something, then it's farce. We're in the farce stage. I don't know. I forget the quote. We're going to have to lose this game. So I got the Iowa Hawkeyes taking it. Let's go. I'm not going into the 40s, Kev. It is still Iowa. I got Iowa 27-13. We'll be back rest of the season, folks. I promise we'll have some interesting stuff about potential head coaching candidates because God knows we're going to struggle to talk about what's left of this regular season. Still good to be a Nittany Lion. Until we talk to you next, Take care of yourselves and each other. We are.
Thank you, James.